Hello, my name is Professor Eric Izdebski, and this is the IT210 Introduction and Overview. I'm going to be focusing on the course syllabus during this brief talk. The syllabus is critical for your success in this class, so you need to read it, you need to understand it, understand the policies in it, and have an idea of what work is coming and what the topics are going to be on the course. Now, some critical things right up front. This is a hybrid class. So we have office hours, which are optional. They're Monday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. And then we have 3 in-class, in-person sessions at the campus in Alexandria. Those sessions are 22 April, 13 May, and 3 June from 1:30 to 5:30. Those are on Tuesdays. Then you have my contact information. The office hours, by the way, will be on GoToMeeting, and we don't have office hours when we have an in-person class session. All right, personal computing. We're going to be covering hardware and operating systems and networking. And what's really exciting about this class is we now have a computer lab that I started last fall. So we have a bunch of computers, we have a bunch of tools, and we get to experiment with them. We get to take them apart, we get to put them together, we get to fix them, we get to install different operating systems on them, we get to build a network and test it all out. We'll do all of those things in addition to the regular course material. What do you want to learn here? Let's see. Student learning objectives. Identify the basic components of computers, focusing on desktop computers. Proficiency in installing, configuring, and troubleshooting equipment. Fundamental principles of how the hardware works together and what do you need to build a good functioning system. Because just because the pieces all go together and the computer might turn on doesn't mean you have built the best system. Troubleshooting skill development, that's important. And to learn about different operating systems. We'll be focusing on Windows and Mac because those are the systems that you have. A lot of the commands and all the ideas are all the same, though, also on Linux. Okay, there is a textbook for the class. It's a CompTIA textbook. It's a big, heavy textbook. It's a good textbook, though. There it is. If you're interested in getting certified at a later date, that's the book that you want. Okay, there's some good information here on our library links and also on the APA. The APA is the writing standards that we use. So your writing is being judged not just on technical ability. It's also being judged on, did you follow the right format? Did you write an essay? Did you have an introduction and a conclusion? Did you have references? And did you cite your references in the paper per the APA instructions and format? Very good things to know. Those make the difference between people who get an A in the class and people who get a B in the class. Now, how do we grade the class? So this is going to be different if you've had other classes. WUST in general is moving away from discussions. So the discussion boards are still going to be used a little bit in this class, but we really only have three discussion board topics that will be discussed amongst the class members and myself. I'll get involved in the discussions too to help try to make them more interactive. So because of that, the rubric, the grading has changed. So participation is the same. Participation and attendance is still 15%. But now discussions are 5%. That's been made up for with special assignments. That's now 20%. In addition to weekly assignments, which are the essays that you do in classes that you submit through the Turnitin system. Those are 20%. There's a midterm that consists of 2 parts. It has a multiple choice exam, and then there's a written part of the midterm. That's in week 5. It's all in the calendar to follow though. And then there's a final exam. The final exam is also 20%. The final exam is in two parts as well. There is the multiple choice portion and a short answer, short essay written portion. Grading standard, you've seen it before. All right, let's get into the course outline. I'm not going to read all of this to you because you need to read the syllabus yourself and take and pass the syllabus quiz. You'll see that in the modules in Canvas. And it's a prerequisite to being able to submit other work. So in week 1, do that syllabus quiz. Come to office hours if you have questions. That also earns you participation credit for the week, by the way, if you come to office hours. But the assignments are also designed so that doing the special assignments on time get you credit for participation that week. Unless it's one of the weeks when we have an in-person class, then of course your participation grade is based upon how well you participate in class. Real simple. Okay, so the class is 10 weeks long. We've got the different topics here. I already read you the learning objectives. So they're here in a little more detail in this weekly outline. Shows you what chapters in the book to read. Importantly, what work to do. So weekly assignment 1 and special assignment 1 for week 1. That's your work. And it's due at the end of the week. All work is due by Sunday night at midnight every week. Now as we go through here, we get to these in-person weeks, weeks 3, 6, and 9. So in week 3, we have in-class activity 1. So there are some in-class activity questions you may see in Canvas. We're not going to explicitly do those. We'll talk about some of them. I may go over some of them, but we're going to be focused on very different things for our in-class activities, namely working hands-on with computers. Okay, then we get to week 5. That's when the midterm is. That week there's no assignment of any type, but there is a discussion board to participate in. Week 6, we're back to assignments plus special assignments. So I'm going to go over those. We'll take a look at what the special assignment means in a moment. So week 6, in-class activities. Week 9, in-class activities. And that gets us all the way through to the final. This course goes quick. It's 10 weeks long. You've got a lot to learn. There's going to be a lot of information packed into it. General policies, okay. You've got to come to class on the weeks when we have in-person class. Those are important for your own visa requirements, as well as getting your participation grade for the week. If you don't come to class, you get a 0 for participation. Okay, so I told you about assignments. Now this says due by 11. You know what? That's to give you an extra hour in case something goes wrong with the submission system. If you wait to the last minute trying to submit your papers, I can almost guarantee you something's going to go wrong and your paper might be late. So don't do that. Don't wait till the last minute. Late assignment policy. This is important. You lose points for late assignments. Okay. Now, if there's valid excuses that you let me know about in advance, right, unless it's a true emergency, and then you can let me know about that as well and provide, proof of the emergency, proof of some issue, some problem that prevents you getting your work in on time. Let me know, and I'll consider that in figuring out is your work late or not. Now, the late penalties, I'll show you. If it's a week late or up to a week late, minus 10 points. That's a whole letter grade. 2 weeks, minus 15. 3 weeks, or up to 3 weeks, minus 20. After 3 weeks, you get a 0. After 3 weeks. Okay. Now, I mentioned that most of the grading is technical, but then there's some parts on the APA style. Here is some of that style information. Cover page, proper format, references. Then I also require citations, an introduction, conclusion. These things are all in the documents that you've got in Canvas. There's examples on how to do it. There's presentations on how to do it. Okay, discussion forums. There's only 3 that we're doing this week. Only 3 discussion topics, or this term. How I do them is a little different than other classes do. I give you a new topic to go over, not the topic from the assignment for the week. I give you a brand new topic. You research it, write up your answer, and then you go and read other students' posts and reply to them. Now, the reply is a discussion about it. Is what it's meant to be. To get a little more value out of that process, what I require in every reply is that you ask thoughtful questions about the post you're replying to. You don't just say, good post. You ask thoughtful questions, or you make thoughtful recommendations on how that student could make their post better. So it's not about an argument or about ego. It's just, here's some tips on how it could be better. I read it, and it could be better if you added some material, added some more examples, put in some diagrams, all the things you can think of that might make it better. Or you ask some questions, drawing upon critical thinking, right? Critical thinking skills are basically about how do you ask questions? How do you analyze something and then ask a question about it that's relevant and could cause more discussion to happen? That's what I'm looking for. Okay. There's no extra credit in this class. Okay, academic misconduct. Your assignments sent in through Turnitin are analyzed for plagiarism and also for AI use. You'll see the plagiarism score. You won't see the AI score. So some students get surprised. They think that they're okay because the plagiarism score was below 30%. The AI score is a separate score. But let's face facts. You already know if you used AI or not for the most part. And generative AI is not allowed. Now, there are other AI systems that help you with writing that are allowed. Grammarly, I guess Phrasely, Quillbot. There's a bunch of writing systems out there to help people write better. Sometimes we get what's called a false positive from the AI detection. It may say you've got an AI violation and you really don't. So you may get an email from me asking, hey, how did you prepare your paper? Did you use some software to help you write it that could account for this AI score? And we'll figure out how to proceed from there. Most of the time, though, the AI system, when it spots something unusual, it's usually right. Sometimes I spot it myself, regardless of what the AI system says. Believe it or not, students have left statements in their papers from ChatGPT that say things like, well, if you have any more questions for me, please ask. I'll tell you all about the topic. And, that's A, it's cheating. B, it's dumb to not proofread your own paper. You will not get good grades for that. So, first violation, you get a 0. You have to resubmit the paper. It gets regraded. Second violation, you start with a 0 again, fix it, gets regraded, but this time the maximum score you can get is a 79. So there's a big penalty for using too much AI. The third AI violation, you get an F in the class. You fail the class. Simple as that. Now there's a note here that says don't rewrite the question in your answer document. The plagiarism checker will score you high. I know this, and I know to look for it. Sometimes I'll tell you I want you to write the question, because one of the big mistakes students make is they don't answer the questions. You know, there's 10 questions on a test and they only answer 9 of them. Where if you write the question out, maybe you're going to pay a little more attention and answer all the questions. But for most of the work, I don't want to see the questions. It's only on like the exams when you're going to want to put the questions in there. For the other assignments, you need to be writing essays with an introduction and a conclusion and a bunch of body paragraphs, examples, diagrams, things that make the paper better. You all read books, you look at websites. What's on a website? Is it mostly all text, or is there a mixture of text and diagrams? It's a mixture. Your papers should be a mixture. That makes them better. There's some etiquette rules here. This is about the discussion forums. Sum it up. Don't be a jerk. It's about as simple as that. All right, I said that we were going to take a look at the rest of the course material. We'll view it as a student, so I know that you are seeing the right stuff. Come on, there we go. Okay, there's a bunch of good material here. This is the welcome section. About me, this video, expectations, policies, when the sessions are, when the office hours are, and a bunch of things on how to write per the proper format that I'll be grading you on, right? Here's the syllabus quiz I mentioned. You have to take it. You have to pass it. You take it until you pass it. Here's the syllabus that we just went over. Download it. Take a look at it. Now, each weekly module, there are slides from the publisher of the book. I'm not explicitly lecturing to these slides, but these have good material in them. Now, this class is going to present a new challenge for you. Because we got rid of discussions, we had to replace it with something. I've replaced the discussions with what I call special assignments. In your first one, you're going to make a video presentation about yourself. You're going to introduce yourself. So let's see what this says. This is really simple. It's 3 slides. Got to put pictures on the slides. I gave you some ideas of what to talk about. And it must be slides and video. You notice I've got, a screenshot, screens being captured here, plus video. You could do the same. You need to learn how to use these IT kind of tools. That's why you're getting this assignment. There's a file here that tells you how you can do it. You can do this right in PowerPoint. You can record your video and your presentation all together as one, and then you have a video. Now, I'm going to add one thing to this. I'm going to have you submit the video to me using YouTube. So you're going to need a YouTube account, which is just a Google account. So you can upload your video, because you're going to be doing quite a few video presentations in this class. All right. So that's how you do week 1. You do the assignment, you make this video presentation, get it all in on time, and that gives you a participation score for the week. If you're late, you get a 0 on participation. Don't be late. Then the next week, there's an assignment, there's more slides, and then you're going to make a training video, kind of like this video, screen captures. And I list here tons of software for both Windows and the Mac that you can use. This is all free software that you could use to make the video. I give you a list of commands and then say pick some commands for, make a training video. Okay, so you're training to be some kind of IT professional. Learn to make a training video put it on YouTube, and then you send me the link through Canvas. Canvas will give you the ability to upload the link, similar to how you would turn in and upload a paper. Instead, you give me the website URL. There it is. In this case, it would be to your YouTube. What else do we see here? Week 3, there's a discussion. So it's a little different. We have the assignment, and we have a discussion. And we have in class. Week 4, we're back to making a training video and having assignments. Week 4, if you look at the syllabus, is about networking. It's where we first get into it. So the video is on networking commands. Then we hit week 5, the midterms. As I mentioned, there's 2 parts to the midterm. There's a multiple choice part and a written part. Then there'll be a discussion in week 5. And so on and so on. So this guide tells you everything you need to do during the week, and then it gives you some other helpful information here at the end about how to use Canvas in case you have questions. And the to-do list, this is great. This shows you, what's coming up. What do you need to do? Week 1. That's not showing everything. You think it would show the week 1 assignment. That should be in the to-do list. I'll have to take a look at that. See if I can't get that to show up, because that should show up. Yeah, I'm seeing none of the assignments or the turn it in assignments. We'll fix that. Okay. I think I spoke enough. Main things. Follow instructions. The instructions might differ from assignment to assignment. They're a little different on discussions. They're going to be a little different on the special assignments, a little different on the tests. So you have to be kind of locked in and have good attention to detail. Follow those assignments, because that's the quickest way to get a bad grade. Sometimes you'll just get a 0 if you don't follow the assignments. I'll just tell you. I won't even bother to grade it. I'll get a 0, or you'll get a 0, and I'll tell you to resubmit it because you didn't follow the instructions. Because I can't grade it if you didn't follow the instructions. So it's very important to do that. Let's see if there's anything else in here. It jogs my mind. You know what? Go to meeting. I've got to schedule these. And this error just shows it because I'm in the student view. But this go to meeting section, once I have it populated and you're a regular student logged into the system, you'll see the calendar, which will have the go to meeting links on it for all of our sessions. So we'll have weekly sessions on Monday nights, except for 1 week. It's going to be on a Tuesday because of a holiday, Memorial Day. So that's where you're going to find the office hours though. So Monday night, the first day of class, come on down. Come on into go to meeting. Say hello to the other students in the class. Ask me questions. You may already have questions. That'd be great if you did, because that's how you're going to learn. You're going to ask questions. All right. There you go. That is the introduction to IT210 for spring quarter 2025. See you in class.